What up, y'all? It's your girl, Des, here, the very first season, very first episode of the Keep Winning podcast, where we explore life, love, and the goodness of God. I'm just going to jump right in here, okay? Because I have been having so many things happen to me in the past week that I just have been wanting to talk about, but have not had the space to talk about them kind of freely. So if you will, I will be doing an introduction. I will be doing kind of like a free form of sorts with this um, podcast. But I just really wanted to do this because not only have I been having a feeling that I've been called to do this, I've been wanting to do this for a minute, but also I just be wanting to talk my shit for real. So if you would just allow me to just jump in head first. I, I'm bringing the heat with this first episode because I honestly am trying to keep this as real as possible. So anything that's like too scripted or too like, oh, I got this segment, it's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna work for me. Okay. And filming by myself, I need things to be a little bit moving fast because it's just me. On Island Mogul, we have guests, we have each other to go off of. Girl, it's just me. So I'm gonna just be oh so for real with y'all, and y'all already know that I will keep it that way, but also wanted to keep it organic and not have to do too much because what we're doing here is we're just having a conversation, and I love that. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the very first episode. This is exciting. Yes, period. Okay. Um, Number one on just like life. A lot of you know that I live in Dallas, but that was not the case this time last year. So I am coming from Dallas. I'm coming to Dallas from Los Angeles, California, where I lived for like 3 or 4 years. Not really sure. I did go to school out there, but let me tell you. How I got here. So I think I've shared on my Instagram before a little bit about this, but those last 6 months leading up to moving here to Dallas were probably the roughest months of my life. Y'all, I was having a friggin' identity crisis, bro. The amount of no's that I was receiving in that last 6 months, because let me tell you, at the top of 2023, I got laid off from a job that I was very, very, very excited about and about growing into. Didn't happen. And so that was my second time that I've ever been laid off in my life. And I understand that that's a lot of people's cases. And so maybe we share this testimony together, but that second one was rough. The first one, I was like, okay, I can do it. I can do it. I think I got this, The second one, I was like, bro, nobody wants me. That's literally how I felt. Understanding now, that's definitely not the case. But at that time, that was the mental, girl. That was what I was going through. And so anyways, that 6 months was a doozy. I learned a lot. I went through a lot prior to that. And so what I experienced in that last 6 months before moving here, that was like a pruning season for me. Like God was pulling the weeds on me, honestly. And I am so thankful now because I can see that. But during that time, girl, it was rough. It was rough. And also during that time, there were so many cool things also happening to me. Like that was when I first met Shane and the gang, and then I started doing Island Mogul content. What a blessing it is to be a part of that team for me right now, currently living. Like that was such a blessing. I got out of a situation. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, but I got out of like a kind of a relationship. We'll call it that for now. Anyways, um, and yeah, like it was rough, but it was also really, really fun at the same time because Island Mogul came out of that. Um, and being able to move here, uh, came out of that. And so I, I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I did last year here in Texas if I was still in LA. Let me tell you, when you are feeling forced in a place, in an area, or in a time in your life, and you don't know what's going on, girl, it's probably because you're not supposed to be there. That's how I felt after leaving LA and coming here, and in a sense being able to thrive out here in Dallas. Girl, if I can tell you, if you get anything out of this episode, You will never, ever, ever have to feel forced to be somewhere that God is calling you to be in. Period. Because He's going to set you up to win. But you have to also want to win yourself by taking yourself out of those situations. And when I tell you that I had to take my ego out of it, I had to take my flesh out of it, I had to take all of those diminishing thoughts. On a lot of them were, you're just giving up, you're not trying hard enough. And then I look back and I'm reflecting and I'm like, girl, I tried my darndest, girl. It just wasn't working. Like I said, the nose, girl, the nose. Oh my gosh. After a while, it gets so tiresome, And I was really about to just like give up on working in fashion altogether, you know? But God, I'm not trying to make light of that. Like He really brought me into a space where I'm able to grow and to as a person, and to grow closer to Him. And so I am so thankful for that, which leads us to this moment here where we are in our own apartment. This is the first time that I'm ever living solo. A lot of you guys probably know that, but maybe you didn't. And so that's why I'm trying to catch you guys up here. I dropped a book last year. I would have never been able to do that if I lived in LA still. Like the amount of distractions that are out there for me, the amount of um just comparing myself, that is not a theme out here in Texas. And that's nothing to anybody but my own perspective. Okay, that I had to work on that myself. And so I will take that's like those distractions and those things, that those are all self-inflicted. But I wouldn't have been able to grow out of that mindset if I was in LA. Just throwing that out there. And so that's kind of where I'm at today. And I am so excited and happy to be here. And I think a reoccurring thought that I continue to move with is to just do my due diligence in a way that is pleasing to God and to be obedient to His callings. So that's what this is, girl. That's really what this is. Something around like the love that has been coming through to me. Man, if you know me and you've heard my stories and I've told you and called you and updated things, you know I've been through some shit this past couple months. I've been through some shit, girl. And I am so, first of all, let me shout out the sisterhood, because I am in love with my front row. I love y'all so much. And when I say front row, I mean the people who are in the front to witnessing all of the things that I am going through, and sit and listening with so much love and just readiness to listen. And that is my front row. You guys know who you are, and I am so thankful for you guys. And I love y'all so much. So if you're in my front row, you know exactly kind of what I've been through. And it just has not been easy. But currently, right now, obviously, I am single. It's a love-hate relationship. I am in a season. It's been a long season. But I'm thankful. Because one thing about me is that God will not keep me in a situation for too long if it is not for me. That I know that's not the case for everyone. I know that is not the case for everyone. And I would just like to think that I'm lucky in that way. And maybe I listen. And I know sometimes that I do not. And yes, that is where maybe I am pushing myself back a little bit. But hey, we're learning, okay? And God already knew I was going to do that. So, hey, we're moving on. Anyway, so like I said, I got this download this past week about having clarity. Okay, because there's this like viral saying about, women bring peace when men bring clarity. I get it. That is understood. That to somebody, yes, right? Yes, absolutely yes. But let's take it a step deeper, because I'm reflecting on this and I'm like, well, why does he have to bring clarity if I already have clarity? You know what I'm saying? So having self-clarity is key when you are, you're looking to be in a relationship or looking to start a relationship, or just like in general with life. Like having clarity on what you stand on is going to be such a huge part of whether you do something or you don't do it. And that's with love, because that's beyond the checklist of that we have. That's beyond the boundaries that we have, because you have clarity in yourself and what you're looking for and what you also bring to the table, what your strengths and your weaknesses are. Right? And so I'm not saying that like we're not looking for that. Like that's great that men can do that for us. But take it a step further and have that for yourself, sis. Get that clarity for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it could be temporary, it could be not, it could be forever. Who knows? But at least you know where you stand. You know what I'm saying? And when things change and when things progress in these relationships that we have, you're gonna always be clear on where you are. You don't need nobody to tell you. And that's with so much love. Last thing that I kind of wanted to just kind of talk about on here, maybe you guys have seen this on my story this past week, but I am on 75 hard, and it is currently, let me double check, make sure the day. Yeah, it is my 27th day on 75 hard, and I was telling my story that the amount of self-discipline that is required to do this is astronomical, girl. Like it is out there crazy. Like I have never had to flex my discipline muscle this much ever in my life. And I am so thankful, because the way that I feel now, and I've come to this realization, is that there's levels to this, and I mentioned that, to this confidence thing. You can come on my page and you'll be able to see this person has self-love. This girl is confident. As that is all true. Two truths can be can be true at the same time. Three truths can be true at the same time, right? Because this is the third truth. Confidence, deeper level of self-confidence comes from self-discipline. And I mean that respectfully. Because I don't want this to come across in any type of way or to diminish what the self-love narrative is, because I think it's very powerful. That was I grew in that, you know what I'm saying? But this new era in my life, with being able to understand self-discipline in ways that I have not understand before, I have a new found self-confidence, girl, that I just like. It's and this has helped me so much in my walk with God, the past couple of months, and also just like having centered thoughts around just wanting to be better than yesterday, wanting to make better decisions than what I have before. And I am convinced, okay, that a deeper level of self-confidence comes from self-discipline. Let me know what you guys think too, because maybe is it just me? I don't know. But also like maybe you guys are understanding and getting different downloads too from about, confidence and self-discipline that I would love to hear about. Those are just a few things that kind of came across my plate the past week that I kind of wanted to just get out and kind of get a feel and express to you guys my thoughts on them. I feel like going forward into the next couple of episodes within this season, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. I know a lot of things were kind of like, we're trying to test the waters here. We're trying to see how it goes. But I feel like I dropped a few gems on y'all. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, like I kind of want to keep these to 15 to 20 minutes moment so that this is kind of like a pick me up for your week. Again, these will be dropped every other Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time because I am in Texas. Sorry, Pacific Standard Time. I feel like I always try and like make it convenient for y'all, but not anymore. We're not doing that. We're making it convenient for me because I am the one who's making these. Anyways, yes. So make sure you guys catch that every other Thursday. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for tuning in to this first episode. I'm so excited to continue to expand and grow with you guys all here on the Keep Winning podcast with your host, Des. Be sure to come back next week. Again, like, subscribe, and follow our Instagram. Yeah, this was great. Love y'all. Again, this is the Keep Winning podcast with Des. Ta ta.